Welcome to the Super Dietability Podcast.
Welcome. So far, we've talked about how to return after disruption, how to protect results, how to manage appetite, and how internal responses like insulin and fuel usage affect the system.
And today we shift focus slightly, not just on what you eat or how often you eat, but when you eat.
Because timing is not just a detail. It shapes the rhythm of the entire system.
Most people think about food in isolation, meal by meal, decision by decision.
But the body doesn't operate in isolated moments. It operates in cycles.
There is a natural rhythm across the day, periods of activity and periods of recovery.
And when eating patterns are aligned with that rhythm, the system becomes more stable.
But when eating is spread randomly across the entire day,
Or extended late into the night.
that rhythm becomes disrupted.
And over time, that disruption creates inconsistency.
This is where circadian eating ability comes in.
It is the ability to align your eating window with your natural daily cycle.
In simple terms, eating more during the active part of the day,
And reducing or eliminating intake during the late hours,
because late eating often happens not out of true hunger.
but out of habit, environment, or fatigue,
And those moments are usually the least controlled.
which means they often add unnecessary intake.
When you begin to structure your eating window, something changes.
Your decisions become more predictable.
Instead of constantly deciding whether to eat or not,
You operate within a defined time frame,
and that reduces decision fatigue.
which makes consistency easier to maintain.
This also connects directly to the previous abilities.
Because if your eating is structured,
You naturally reduce unnecessary snacking,
which supports appetite fixability,
and with fewer eating moments,
you reduce constant activation inside the body
which supports insulin awareness,
and creates more space between inputs.
which supports keto switching ability.
So again, this is not a separate concept.
It is a reinforcing layer of the system.
And importantly, this is not about rigid schedules.
It's about creating a consistent window that fits your life.
Even small adjustments can make a difference.
For example, slightly earlier dinners, or reducing late night intake.
Over time, those small shifts stabilize the entire pattern.
Circadian eating ability does not force discipline,
It creates structure,
and structure reduces friction.
which allows consistency to happen more naturally.
So instead of constantly asking, should I eat now?
You already know the answer based on your structure.
And that clarity is powerful.
Because it removes uncertainty.
Over time, your system becomes more predictable.
And predictable systems are easier to maintain.
This is circadian eating ability.
The sixth of the 7 diet abilities.
In the next episode, we'll bring everything together with micro fasting ability.
Stay in the system.